Hello fellow option traders, this is Jeff and welcome to the Option Guru's Credit Spread System 2.0. This first video, I think there's going to be more than one because I don't want them to be too long, but I'm going to try to break them down logically. In the first video, I'm just going to go through an overview of what the system is, what underlines I use, and how to set up your charts and how to set up the studies. A lot of you already know this and may already have the studies loaded, but for those of you who may be new to this, this is a good way to get started. And then we would want you to, of course, subscribe to the Option Guru and watch the daily scans and see the system actually in operation. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is actually the document as I have created it here. This is a PDF. You can download it from my blog, like it says here. Use the studies contained in the document that you'll find on the download page, but I'm not going to tell you that you can download this document from the downloads page because you would already have the document. How can you be reading it if you haven't downloaded it? But regardless, you can still just click on this link and it'll bring you to the downloads page as we have done here, and you just all you have to do is just say allow. And this will bring you to the downloads page. Now, I don't have the document there as of yet, but it will be. I will have the studies there that are specifically used on this system, and I'll have the A+ list is already there. I use the A+ list. This is my watch list that I use every day if you watch my daily videos, and this is also the indices watch list that you see that I use here. And then there's some older downloads here that you may or may not be interested in. Very old trading plans here. Things have changed a lot since then. I could take those off, but you never know. Somebody might still be interested in what I was doing 4 or 5 years ago. But you'll find all that on this downloads page here. Okay, so I'm calling this CSS v2.0. And for those of you who have seen this in operation, you know that it really does work. But basically what this is telling you is that it can be used in any time period, but everything that I do in these videos and in this document are related to daily time period. So each candle or each hash mark or whatever you might be using for a chart, each one represents one trading day. And this is saying that during the formation of any candle and before the close of that candle, the Option Guru Stochastic and MACD might change from red to green and back again several times. If you're using a daily time period, it's best to wait until the last 1/2 hour of trading, or near the close of that time period if you're using some other fractal of time, or the next day before opening your position. There's no hurry. Be patient, and that is the biggest thing. Okay, the studies that I use in this document and in everything that I'm going to be doing will be on the downloads page, and we'll show you later on how to get these into the Thinkorswim trading platform. And also there's instructions in there if you use some other charting program that you can, say for instance like stockcharts.com or something like that, that you can set yours up the same way. It won't have the colors maybe. I'm not familiar with those charting programs, but at least you'll get the detail on how to actually set up the study and what time periods to look at for the study. Also, if you follow along on the daily scans on YouTube, you will have a good idea of how this thing actually works in action, because I actually trade live in this. I mean, on my videos I'm not necessarily trading live, but you're looking at my live account and you can see how performance has been going along each week. I record the trades for that week, since most of these are very short-term trades. I usually have results weekly. These trades a lot of times only last in duration maybe a max of 5 or 6 days, sometimes just 2 or 3, and sometimes just overnight. I like to take profit early. That's a suggestion that I have for you, that you not necessarily hold until expiration. You should set a profit target and you should follow that profit target and get out while the getting is good. Alright, next we'll take a look at what my A+ list actually looks like. This is the Thinkorswim trading platform here, and this is the A+ list. These are the only underlines that I trade. The actual trades are credit spreads, not debit spreads. They are credit spreads, but you're free to use debit spreads if you so desire. And our target is to always enter at a delta of 50 for the short strike, and I'll explain all that later. But I use these same underlines. I've been using them for many years. Some of them, the list tends to, some underlines move in and out depending on whether, the public has lost interest in them and they've lost their liquidity, or the price has dropped too low, as you can see here, with the exception of Adobe and Marvel. Those are kind of some ones that I was messing around with some other types of trades with. Everything on here is at least $100, and many things, of course, like Priceline is $1,148, and SPX is $1,842, and so forth. So I do like them higher priced. I don't have to buy so many lots, so I don't have to, I can keep my commission costs down by doing that. Alright, the next thing I'd like to do is just take a look at what the charts look like here. And you can see that I have, if a candle closes closes above the open, it's going to be green. If it closes below, it's going to be red. That's the way I have my chart set up. You can go here and take a look at this. Now, if you want to, you can just kind of take a snapshot of this if you want to look exactly like my charts. So this is the general settings in the Think TDA platform, and then for price axis I have usually I wanted to change this to 10%, so I'm going to change this to 10%. And what this does is over here on the chart, it's going to give me 10% of headroom of the current price. So in this case here, we would have $40 away from the top of the chart for the highest price in there. And I'm not worried about the downside right now. Everything is pretty bullish right now, meaning that the market is generally overall moving up. And so generally overall, you're going to be doing what's called a bull put credit spread, and I call those BUPs, B-U-P, for bull put. And on the other side, if a underlying is moving down, we would do a bear call, or a BEC, or a BEC. And all that will come clear to you as time moves on. For a time axis, the big one here is the expansion area, 10 candles over here. So we have a little bit of extra space in case we want to project things out into the future. I don't really do anything here. Appearance, and here's how I have it set up. For the appearance here for the candles, and then the common area is volume bars. I have them for a light gray color, so they show up down here, and you can see them over here. Actually, it's pretty dark gray. I don't pay much attention to volume since a lot of these are pretty high volume anyway. And you can see if there's a big difference in volume, that what will have happened here is that you'll have a big candle either up or down. If there's a lot of activity on it, say for instance like earnings. Alright, for equities, nothing really fantastic there. I have this show volume subgraph checked, so it shows up here instead of down on the bottom here. If you don't have this checked, it's just not going to show up, and I think I do that here, and you can see that it disappears. So you want to check that, hit the apply button or just OK, and it'll show up there. Like show corporate actions, I want to know when earnings are coming. And for my intraday charts for equities, I want to show extended session. And then for options, I have show extended session, but there is no extended session really in options. And I have the show volume subgraph for those and show the theoretical price. Alright, I'm going to uncheck that because when I look at options, I'm not really interested in that line. Alright, and that's pretty much how things are set up for the overall chart settings. And then here we have our settings for the studies. Now I have a 100 and a 200 here, but I have those turned off. And if you want to know how to turn them off, well, it's supposed to be turned off. Sorry about that. Are they up here? Oops. I will want those turned off. I don't pay any attention to them anymore. So rather than delete them from here, I'll just turn them off. And the same thing with the 200. I will also turn them off. They're still there. They're just not going to display. I'm interested in the 9. This one is turned off also. Yes, we'll make sure it's turned off. We're interested in the 9, although we don't look at it very much. We're interested mostly, our guiding light is the SMA, which is a 50-day or 50-period simple moving average. Okay, and then I also have IV percentile, and that's a little box that's up in the corner up here. You can see it, and it tells you where it is from the perspective of the amount of volatility the underlying has, implied volatility, where it stands from a percentile perspective over the last year. And that's the length that I have that set up to 252 days. Alright, and then down on the bottom, the biggies down here are the stochastic, which is the 1 to 5 version 2, and the MACD 1 to 5 version 2. Alright, so how do we get these in here? Well, there's a couple ways you can do it. The way that I have done it, and what I've done for you here, is you'll find this file here with the studies in it, and the first thing it says is these are not importable. So you can't import these studies. I could have formatted them to be importable, but then you would have to have a file for each study. So I thought this would be a little bit better, and it's pretty easy. So all you have to do is, here's the instructions if you are doing this on another charting program. For your MACD, you want to make the short EMA 3, long EMA 10, and the EMA of the MACD is 15, and turn your histogram off. Now here's the actual code, and the code is what gives you, oops, The code, ladies and gentlemen, is, let me close this down here, what gives you the colors down here. If it's higher than the previous day, it's going to be green. If it's lower, it's going to be red. And we are going to be driven by these colors, as you'll see shortly. Okay, so back to this. Now we'll go back here and we want to go back and set up our studies. So I'll show you how to do this. I'm not going to actually, well, I guess I could create a study, I guess, sure. I can do that. Okay, so under Add Study, we would want to click on New. And when you name your studies, we'll just call this, let's make this 00 out here so it just ends up at the top. And this will be New Study. You can't put any spaces in. You can use underscores and dashes, but it doesn't like spaces. Okay, so now you just go over to, this is a text document, so there's no formatting in here or anything like that. So it says copy below this line. So all you need to do is just take a click, right or left click, and drag down till you come to a copy above this line. And then you can say, I want to copy that and jump over here, and you want to highlight that because you don't want that in there. You want to actually get rid of that. And then you can right click and hit paste. Then your code goes in there. The Thinkorswim platform actually takes a look at it and color codes things. I don't know the reason for these color coding. I think it's so that certain, I don't even know what the name of them is because I'm not a programmer. I'm a hacker. I hacked this code from someplace else. Well, actually, I hacked it from the MACD. I took the MACD and then I hacked around until I could get the colors and everything to work out the way that I wanted. So here we have our fast length 3, slow length 10, and MACD length 15. And you can see that we put this in here. It did not create any errors or anything like that. If you did something wrong, it's going to give you an error. Okay, so now we have this all set up. This particular study is all done, and all we have to do is click OK. All we have to do is click OK. Oops. I don't know if that matters or not. Why am I not being able to say OK? So the problem was it did not like me starting out the file name with 2 zeros. So I guess we have, I'll just put an A up here. That should be alright. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. So now it's going to let me go ahead and add this study. So now it should be over here. A new study right here. And we can add that. So if we click apply, now we'll see that the study is down here. Alright, the first thing that you want to do on this EMA deal here is click over here on a little cog wheel that will let you edit the study actually. So you don't want this blue line here, so we don't want that. So we'll just take that off. Okay, and then you can see here that the average, which is the 2-day plot, is down here, and the colors are dynamically set, and the difference, it says the colors are dynamically set, and the 0 line is this line right here, and you can change that color if you like. So if we hit apply, if we hit OK and then apply, that blue line is gone, and now we have actually a couple of these. I've already added a couple of them. We'll just take one out here. And now we have a study that's exactly like this. Now what I did was I made some of these lines a little bit fatter to bring them out a little bit better. So you can do that. You just go down here and say edit. You right click on it, and say edit. And then for this you can say, well, I want to make the width, let's make it 4. And hit apply. You can see that this line got fatter. But that's not the line that I'm really interested in. So we'll leave it at 2. The one that I really am interested in is the red and green line. So that's how you set that up. Now all I have to do to get rid of it is hit delete, and it's gone. Okay, now this is how my chart is set up. I'm going to, these are supposed to be shut off. Shame on me. I don't know how that happened. How did that happen? Alright, we'll shut those off. Okay, I could do it from the chart too. And the way to do that from the chart is to right click on the actual study and say delete it. That may remove it, but I don't much care. Okay, so I got rid of those moving averages that I'm not really interested in. Here's my 9-day right here, and what I did to that one was I made it dots, and I made them a width of 2. And then if you don't want to show the bubble, which this is the bubble, is this thing over here, and show the title, and that puts the title up here. If you don't want that cluttering up your charts, then you can turn those off too. Okay, so here the chart is set up, and I've shown you how to do a study. Now I think I'm gonna take a time out here, a little bit of a rest, and get ready for what I'm going to set up for the next video. But before I go, I want to let you know that Amazon is going to be the underlying that we are going to be looking at, and the example that I gave in the document, the trading system document, actually illustrates what's going on with this particular move right here. And you're going to see that actually this is I have to kind of give myself a pat on the back after many years of trying to find, I guess, sort of a holy grail. This is it. This is a pretty high percentage trading system, I would have to say. And my results so far have proven it, although it's only maybe about a little bit over a month, or about a month, but lots of trading, paper trading before that to prove this out. So I think you're going to like it. So stay tuned. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching, and stand by for the next video.